Hi friends, it's Kristen, or Krusty if you prefer to call me that, that is fine. For today's video, I am ranking my last 10 palettes that I have tried. I'm in a lovely mood. I just got back from our town's Pride Fest and it was lovely and fun. As you can tell, I'm all decked out. I got a bunch of bracelets, I got some gems. I think I lost a few though. I think there used to be 3 on each side, so got my rainbow look. So it was really fun. It was really positive. I got like so many compliments on my makeup and everybody was just having a good time and it was really lovely. We didn't have any crashers or hecklers or anything. I was a little worried about that. There has been a person, so we have a small town that's like basically connected to our bigger town. And in that town there's been a man, a little boy really, going around drawing Nazi symbols to protest anywhere that's flying a pride flag. So little worried that some nonsense like that would go on, but I didn't see anything. Everybody was positive and great and just a very good experience, good vibes. So all right, let's get into this. So at number 10, I got this palette, Italia Deluxe. I found this at Dollar Tree, so it was $1.25, and it is an all matte kind of rainbow type palette, so kind of fitting for today. Not totally classic rainbow, but most of the colors in there. This actually wasn't too bad. Pigmentation was okay, not the best, but it built up okay. Longevity was pretty decent, not the best. I would say where it was lacking most was it was hard to blend, but they are brighter colors, so even in a very high quality palette that can be an issue. So really it wasn't a bad palette. I just don't see myself reaching for it. If I want to go for an all matte colorful palette, I will use my Blend Bunny Blends palette. So but if you're looking for colorful shadows, you're on a budget, this really, I would say if you see it, it's not bad, not bad. And then number 9. So I'm kind of sad about number 9 because I've been wanting to try this brand for a while and it really has more to do with the color story than necessarily the formula, a little bit of the formula, but it's mostly because it's such a dark little palette. So this is a 6-pan palette from Clarity Cosmetics, the Stained Glass. It is this really pretty green. It's dark, which is kind of where my issue is, because it creased a lot on my eyelids, which does happen with darker shades. And then this one here is really crumbly, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just something to be aware of. You kind of have to smooth it out. It was just dark, so it didn't really work well with my eyelids, for one, because it creases. I just wanted more depth, because really if you take away this, it's just so dark. So once again, I don't necessarily think it's a bad palette. I think the formula was pretty nice. I would try this brand again. I just think this color story, I needed a little bit more range. I needed something a little more light to go in it as well. Number 8, from Sugar Drizzle, we have this Bunny Love palette. The formula is absolutely lovely. It also has some face, so it has a blush and then like a shimmery blush topper, and then a highlighter. These are all really pretty. So, but it's hard to take into account just the eyeshadow, but I tried to do that. This, for one, it's not like my favorite color story. It's not one that I'm gonna reach for a whole bunch. The formula was wonderful. It was lovely. I have no complaints there. Kind of like this one's really light, whereas like the last one was a little too dark. This one's just a little too light for me. But I do really like the yellow and the purple shimmer there. And these face products were really pretty as well, but this is an eyeshadow palette ranking, not a all-in-one palette ranking, so that's why it's down there a little bit lower. Mostly just color story. and this not a color story I'm going to reach for, but formula wise, longevity wise, it was good. I have no complaints. Really, none of these palettes I have any big complaints with. You know, the last one, you know, number 10 was, you know, pretty mid, but it wasn't like, this is awful, throw it away either, you know. Number 7. I'm trying to be a little more conscientious of what I keep, what I try, what I buy too. So I'm not having a lot of palettes where I'm like, I just absolutely don't like it. Number 7, this one surprised me. This is from YC Collection. I got this in my Ipsy Glam bag, so the smaller, cheaper bag. My voice is breaking. I did yell a little bit at Pride, and I don't yell a whole lot in life, so. So there we are there, and like looking at the color story, I was like, it's nice, but it's kind of muted. But there is depth there. There is some dark, there is some light, there is some mid. There's shimmers, there's mattes. The first time I wore this, I got like 3 compliments on my eyeshadow, and you know, people are used to me wearing makeup. I don't necessarily get a lot of compliments anymore because they're kind of like, she wears it every day. So it was really nice to get a lot of compliments. And yeah, the formula was really good. It wore really well. I was very surprised with this little guy. Number 6 is the Profusion Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle palettes. I found this in like a buggy of clearance makeup at Walmart, I think for $2, $1 or $2. It was insane. And it's just so cool. It definitely brought back some nostalgia. Here's the color story. Now the color story in and itself, I don't necessarily dislike, but I feel like the shimmers to the mattes, like the shimmers don't match enough of the mattes. Like there's really no green shimmers in there. There's a few where I'm just like, where does this fall in? The formula, not like the greatest either. Not horrible. Just, it took a lot to blend. But I rated it a little bit higher just because of like the nostalgia theming. I don't see myself reaching for it a ton, but I'm probably going to keep it because it just brings back my childhood memories, some good ones. They're not all great, so anything that brings a good childhood memory is probably something I'm going to keep. All right, number 5. So this is another one where like the vibes come in to play. So this brand, I bought this before anything came out. But this brand had participated in some transphobic activity, and I don't support that. But I'd already bought this palette, I already had it, I already spent my money, so I was gonna try and use it. But honestly, I look at it and I'm just like, ugh, what they did kind of just makes me not want to reach for it, because it kind of just puts me in a like the kind of feeling. And honestly, if it wasn't for those vibes, this probably would have been ranked number 1. Because the formula is lovely, the color story is right up my alley, it wears nicely, but because of that vibe factor, yeah, it ended up at number 5. This is the Ensley Rain Cosmetics Twisted Tea Party, so kind of a offshoot of Alice in Wonderland. And I mean, just look at this color story. It is definitely a Kristen color story. You got some brights, you got some grungy, a little bit over here. It wore really well, but just, yeah, the vibes are off, and if the vibes are off, you get ranked lower than if the vibes were on. Number 4, we have Beauty Moon Cosmetics, the Ice Maiden palette. This is a really pretty, I mean, it's blue, but there's some purpley colors, some pink in there, some like goldy green, silver, just a cool toned dream here, very winter-esque, but just really pretty. I really like the color story. I like the formula and the theme, and it's just really cool. And number 3, we have the Route 66, a palette from Nomad Cosmetics. The mirror doesn't want to bend back. Okay, so we got some like neutral vibes. We got like some green and some bright. I really enjoyed this palette, all the looks I made. My only like little complaint is, even though I really love the color and the formula and how bright and pretty it is, that pink just kind of stands out, and I had a hard time like figuring out how to incorporate it. I did do like it with the orange, but like these two and the orange together also don't fit really a lot of the mattes, in my opinion. But the orange, like with these more neutral mattes, worked really well. So it just kind of, it was a nitpicky thing, but when you get down to the last couple, you kind of have to be a little nitpicky. Usually like the top 3 can be a little bit tough. Sometimes like number 1 and number 2, it's obvious, and other times it kind of is hard. Number 2 is also from Nomad Cosmetics. This is I'm not gonna be able to say the first word. I'm just not even gonna try. Après-ski, and then the other word. I can't even say the words that I thought I could say. So this is just really beautiful. Like, I love the greens and the blues, and then you got like these pinky purple plummy kind of, oh geez. So it's really pretty because, and I like that you can mix everything, but if you're new to makeup, you can like do these 6, do these 6, do these 6. So it kind of is good for a variety of skill levels and experience. So I really like that, and I feel like Nomad does a really good job with that. I would say Nomad is a brand, if you're new, just to eyeshadow in general, is really good because it blends really well. And usually most of their palettes, you'll have some neutral options, and then when you want to start experimenting with a little bit more color and brightness, they have those options as well. So you can have a range of experiences with one palette. So that's a brand that I would recommend to a lot of newbies and like experienced people as well. So number one, so this palette came out and I was like, I want it, but it was kind of like one of those things where it was like, I think it was getting to be the holiday time. I had taken a break from work, so it was kind of like I was being I'm always kind of careful with my money. So I was like, I'll wait. And then when they had a sale, of course, it was sold out, and it was sold out for a while. And I don't remember if I ended up getting this on sale or not when it restocked. I don't think I did. I think I was able to use like a content creator's code. But anyway, it is a Fantasy Cosmetica Harvest of Souls, a palette. This is a bigger palette from them. They used to just do 9 pan palettes, and then they branched out. So that is very pretty. All those colors are right up my alley. Blues, greens. There is that like red there, but it's kind of a purpley red, and then you got like the purples. And once again, this is really good, I think, for beginners into color too. Like, you can do this quad, you can do this quad, so on and so forth. But if you're ready to expand and experiment with different colors and not be so monochromatic, you can do that as well. So, and the formula is really nice. They have really great mattes. They blend lovely. The shimmers are beautiful. So that is my last 10 palettes. I'm working on my next 10 palettes to rank though. Well, I haven't tried 10 more palettes yet, but I got quite a few. My birthday month, I went a little crazy. So I'm going through quite a few new palettes, and I'm trying to not just use it once and then kind of you know, be like, oh, I really liked it. I want to give everything a fair shake, whether, you know, I really liked it. Well, maybe I really liked it that one time, and, you know, and then maybe I try another palette. Oh, I didn't really love it, but then I try it again and I really loved it. So sometimes you gotta really sometimes experiment with things before you can really have a good opinion about it and have a good experience with it. So that's what I'm trying to do, instead of just using it once and saying, oh, I really loved it, or oh, this wasn't for me, because that's not really fair. And, you know, we gotta be fair to the eyeshadow palettes. Ranking is really hard because I'm like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. The palettes have feelings, you guys. So that was it. That's my ranking video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, send your friends. We have fun here, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.